Let's be honest, Canada's housing crisis was out of control. Home prices were unaffordable. Rent was worse. It got better, but it's still unaffordable. And now in 2025 election, we have got two big names with very different plans. Mark Carney wants to spend $25 billion fixing it, while Pierre Poilievre says, forget the bureaucracy, just let builders build it. But here's the real question. Who's actually helping you buy a home, not just survive as a renter? Let's break it down. No fluff, just facts. Liberal Party under Mark Carney wants the federal government to lead the charge. New agencies, public housing, student housing, co-ops, indigenous housing, all funded from Ottawa. And conservatives under Pierre Poilievre, they say we will build homes, not bureaucracy, and they will be forcing cities to approve more housing or they will lose federal money. Carney's plan is government heavy and the other one leans on free market. Neither plan is wrong, but what I think is they solve very different problem for very different people. So what is Mark Carney's pitch? Prefab housing, which he claims is going to be 20% cheaper and 50% faster to build. But here's the catch. Canada doesn't have the infrastructure. Well, factories, they are limited for prefab houses. Shipping is also for now going to be expensive because we have very limited factories and it is going to be tough to ship them from one place to the other. So what is Pierre Poilievre's take on it? He plans to use what we already have, like speed up zoning, cut red tape, pressure mayors to approve more bills and faster. Carney wants to reinvent how we build, while Poilievre wants to unblock what's already stalled. So now, here's something worth thinking about. Mark Carney was vice chair at Brookfield Asset Management, one of the world's biggest real estate players. And Brookfield is heavily involved in modular housing, not in Canada for now, but in Europe. If Carney becomes the prime minister and he pushes a $25 billion prefab strategy, is it not a direct conflict? Maybe not, but it's a fair question. Who really benefits when public money starts flowing, especially when Mark Carney till date hasn't really declared his conflict of interest? And if the journalist asks about it, he gets really cocky about it. Let me give you a real world example. A builder in Waterloo, he bought 4 properties together, like 4 single family detached. He wants to merge them all together and then build a mid-rise building on top that will have condominiums, and on the main floor it will have some commercial units. But where's the problem? The problem is red tape. The city, on top of the development fee and all the other charges levied by the city also wants that builder to pay for upgrading the entire street. It is not fair for the builder. He's like, it is what it is, I'll just hold the properties and I will not build. He's been waiting on the project for like over 3 years right now. In that time, the construction cost has increased, interest rates has also climbed, and some buyers who were interested in the project have walked away. That's the cost of red tape. Poilievre's plan, if the cities move that slowly, they will lose the funding. And that's how you get real accountability. This one hits home because I work with buyers every day. And Carney's plan, almost entirely focused on rental housing to incentivize rental market, means they want you to become tenants rather than going ahead and be first-time home buyers. And Poilievre, he's removing GST on new homes that can save up to $65,000 for first-time home buyers. And liberals, as they also copy nice ideas from left and right, they've also decided that they are going to offer GST rebate if they get elected. Now, let's talk dollars because this part matters. Carney's idea is to pay cities to cut development charges, which can cost over $100,000 per home. Sounds nice, right? But tell me, how do you feel if I say all of that money is coming from your taxes and it's only for 5 years? After that, the cities can raise the fees again. And Poilievre's model, cities must earn federal funding. Build more, get more, you fall short, you lose the cash. There's long-term accountability, not a short-term patch. So now, let's talk about investors. I feel both the parties, liberal and the conservatives, are targeting them. Carney's plan, bring back the MURP. Well, that's a tax break from 70s that rewarded rental construction. It worked for a time, but was shut down due to abuse. He wants a stricter, modern version to boost affordable rental supply. And how about Poilievre's approach? Canada's version of 1031 exchange. If the investors sell and reinvest in new housing, they don't pay capital gains tax right away. What that does is it just keeps the capital flowing into the economy. And with over time, the housing supply increases. And he also wants to unlock 15% of federal land for housing in just 18 months. Now, let's follow the money. Carney's plan, $25 billion from Ottawa. Prefab factories, which he might have personal interest in, rental programs which can be inefficient, and cities' incentives which are going to be subsidized by taxpayer dollars. And Poilievre, less spending, more pressure on builders, cities, and investors. One is taxpayer funded and the other one is system focused and efficiency incentivized. So if you're waiting for subsidized rent, student housing, or co-op units, Carney might be your guy. But if you want to own, build, invest, Pierre Poilievre's plan is the only one speaking to you. I know neither plan is perfect. One tackles with supply, ownership, red tape head on, and let's be real, we don't need more headlines. We need people who can actually buy. If this video helped you see the difference, like, comment, and subscribe, and drop your take below. Who's got the better plan? Mark Carney or Pierre Poilievre? See you in the next video.